This video I want to talk about the purpose of the flex training, at least according to why I do it and why I integrate that into part of what I do. Um, Unlike bodybuilding, it's not completely ego-based, it's not to just show off to people. It can be, but that might be a small aspect of it, not really showing off to people. It's not showing off to people, actually. It's more. There's a lot of factors. One of them is basically muscle definition. In the Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger, he talks about like how flex training is basically giving you, like when you flex your muscles, is giving that extra definition to your muscles that you don't really get if you skip that training. It's like a burnout. It's like a complete burnout training. So you notice that when you do, like, say for example, bicep curls, like you're not really building the biceps if you're just holding the weight down like this. There's no muscle being built. The muscle is being built when you're basically curling, and as you curl, you're essentially flexing your muscle while you're holding that weight. It's that resistance training. And then if you bring it back down slow, you're also working the negative, and that's also helping the muscle grow as well. But if you just drop it, then you're not really working the muscle. So basically, it's that negative and that positive that builds that weight with the, builds the muscle with that weight. Now, once you're tired out and you don't have any weights anymore, and you basically just hold that position, that flexing that muscle, it's working that muscle like it's like burning it out completely, beyond anything that weights can do, because the weights have already burned. You already lifted the most you can. You can't lift anymore. Once you don't have any more energy to lift, and then you start flexing, it's really working that muscle to even further extent. It's almost like the difference between like sprinting, running, and then jogging. Every pace is slower. Flexing is more like walking. Okay, like sprinting is like lifting weights, heavy weights, and then running is more like going down a notch. It's like saying like you're benching 200 pounds, and then right after you do 180, and then right after you do 150, and then right after you do 100, and then right after you do the bar. Flex training is like going even beyond the bar. Like once you can't do any more reps with the bar, which is 45 pounds, then you can start flexing your chest. And then when you flex your chest, you're working it to a further extent. So it's like a burnout training. Okay, it's a burnout training to really like give your muscles like basically the most thorough workout possible. Okay, so that's one aspect. Gives your muscle the most thorough workout. Also gives you that extra muscle definition that you don't really get without doing that. Okay, so if you're interested in getting more muscle definition, flexing is good as well. It also helps you build like that tension, relaxation, being able to be in tune with that with your body. That's very important with the martial arts, and they do that a lot in the forms, like the traditional kung fu forms, for example. They'll do a lot of flexing exercises. Like for example, like when they'll do a breathing exercise like this, and then they're flexing like their forearms and their wrist. They might even be flexing their abs. So they're working these muscles at the same time, but also getting used to the difference between like relaxation and tension. Like relaxed, like easy, relaxed, and then tension. Like being able to be relaxed and then tense. Like that tension is like the power, and knowing when to use that tension is very important for the martial arts, and when not to. So being able to control your body, like every part of your body, to be able to be tense when you need to be tense, and then relax. Like tension and then relaxing. Tensing your abs and then relaxing. Like learning when, like every single muscle group, tensing your forearms and then relaxing. So that's very good for teaching you how to be able to be fluid. So then people that work out and they don't know how to, all the time, they never stretch, they don't know how to relax, they walk around tense all the time. That's not good. But then there's people that all they do is just like stretching and yoga, for example. Like they don't have the muscles to really balance out their bodies. So then they might walk around with they don't have good form when they're walking around. They're slouching, and they're just not strong. There's a lot of things they can't do. They might not be able to do a pull-up, can't do a proper squat or a proper push-up. I mean, they lack muscle development. So it's like that balance between relaxation and tension. All right. Another thing is, part of the martial arts is like your physical development. So you want to track like how you're progressing. Like you want to be able to do more pull-ups. You want to be able to do more push-ups. The way that your body looks, it's a part of your overall physical development. Now, that's not that's not the only thing that's important. It's just part of the equation. But you want to gauge your progress. It's almost like, hey, testing out your body fat percentage or testing out your weight. You're stepping on a scale to see how much you weigh or to see how much your body fat percentage is. You're not showing, it's not for other people. It's not showing off to other people, oh, look at how much body fat I have. It's more like for yourself. Where is my body fat at this moment? And then when you're flexing and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're basically testing yourself to see how your body looks right now. Like, does it look strong? Does it look attractive? And am I getting bigger or am I getting more defined? Like how are my muscles looking? Now, it's not all about the looks, but I would be lying to say that I don't care about looks at all. I mean, really, looks is something that is important. We all care about the way we look, and if you don't, then that's not really, that's not really a good thing. What I mean? Because you're gonna have a very hard time attracting the opposite of sex and things like that. I feel that looking good is important. Sometimes looking good is even more important than knowing how to fight, because a lot of times, the woman is gonna select the man based on who's more attractive, not, oh, because this person could fight and that person can't. It's more like, hey, I'm attracted to this person. He looks better, like I'm attracted to his physique and I'm just sexually attracted to this person. So a lot of times it's like a lot of things that we do in life is to attract women. That's just what it is. That's why men want money. That's why men work out. That's why men learn how to fight, because they want to get the woman. And if a woman, if she values physical attraction, then that becomes part of the reason why you might work out harder. So that's an aspect to it as well. Is being able to visually see where your body's at and to improve upon, the way that you look. You might not like the way that your stomach looks, so you want to get bigger arms or bigger chest. Then part of the training could be, working towards bettering yourself in those areas. So, there's different factors involved. And it's just like a gauging process, like I'll test myself to see how many pull-ups I do, and then I want to do more. I'll make a video to show if I could do more, or to see if I could do more. Here, my body looks a certain way now, and then maybe later on, let's see if it can look better, or whatever. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, it does. And that's pretty much what I see. That's my reasonings behind it. And another thing is, it's just a very easy video to make, and then it generates a good amount of views. I guess people like to see those videos, so then whatever, I don't mind flexing to make a little money, opposed to like beating somebody down in a cage. I don't agree to that. But flexing is very peaceful, and it's just a demonstration of the hard work that you've done, day in and day out, training to get your body to look a certain way, in a natural way. So those are my reasons and why I do it. And that's it. I think that people that start criticizing others for flexing, I think it's a way that you do it, but then also it's like, hey, you're not doing anything wrong. You're pretty much exercising. You know, so if somebody wants to make fun of you for exercising, like make fun of you because you're bench pressing, or make fun of you because you're lifting weights, or make fun of you because you're playing basketball, that's their problem. That's their insecurity. Like, why are they making fun of somebody that's flexing and they're there smoking a cigarette, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, you know, like doing some stupid ass stuff, and then here they're criticizing the person that's exercising and bettering his body. We need to stop paying attention to these negative people out there that are basically very insecure about themselves. So then they push upon their insecurities on the people that like to exercise, that like to flex, or whatever the case may be. You know, so I think there's also a way that you do it as well, and there's a unique way that you could do it where it's not like so ego based. It's just more like, hey, you know, I'm flexing because this is part of my workout. I'm flexing because, hey, I want to see where I'm at. You know, as far as how I look visually. You know, am I improving? Am I getting more cuts at my chest? You know, are my abs getting more defined? You know, are my biceps getting more defined? Are they getting bigger? How about my forearms? How do my forearms look? Do they look defined? My biceps, you know, my lats, triceps, back. You know, so you just basically see where you're at and get that workout in.